This is Coastal Climate Control's corporate yacht or research vessel named Toady, after a wonderful little town in Umbria, Italy. She is a 1985 Boston Whaler Super Sport, and we've done some work on her over the years. Get her spiffy, but one of the unique features, as you can see, is on the outboard. She's actually a hybrid. That is an electric Minn Kota DC 12 volt DC motor, and underneath here we have the standard propeller for the outboard of Mariner 25. So in between is a planing tab. Once you get up on the plane, then the Minn Kota is completely out of the water. You go zooming along, come into a creek somewhere and slow down, and then the Minn Kota goes underwater, and then we turn over to electric. There's the two sources of power. One is the gasoline or two-stroke, and then we have 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate home assembled battery, so that'll keep us going all day at about 3 knots. And all this inspired us to look into more hybrid technology, and this is the latest addition to the coastal fleet, the Chevy Volt. Well, the Chevy Volt is not a true hybrid. It's actually an extended range electric vehicle. This is the official title because it has the gasoline engine as well as the battery to provide the DC power. Here it is plugged into the charger, which is inside the warehouse there on a timer, so that no one can come here at night and plug in and use our electricity. I said earlier that the Volt has a generator, not a propulsion engine, but that's not quite correct. There are actually two electric motor generators, one half the size of the other, and also a gasoline engine, and when needed the gasoline engine is connected via clutches to use one of the motor generators and provide power. So let's see how all this works. In normal drive mode, the lithium-ion battery supplies the larger of the two motor generators directly. But if a boost is needed for acceleration, then clutch number 2 will operate, and both motors will be connected to the wheels, and both of them will be fed from the battery, so a lot of power for acceleration. Now if we take our foot off the accelerator and we're coasting, then clutch number 1 will operate, and now we're turning the motor into a generator, and the wheels will be putting power back into the battery. If you have to brake for any reason, you know, dog running across the road or whatever, now we're putting a lot of energy back into the battery. It's very powerful on the regeneration. Okay, so our 40 miles are up on the battery, and it's time to use the gasoline engine. First thing is the engine will start, and then clutch number 3 will operate, connecting the smaller of the motor generators to the battery, providing power into the battery, which then feeds it into the motor. If more power is needed than the small motor generator can supply, then the battery will supply the extra, and then alternatively it'll get topped up again on regen, and also when coasting, and the engine will then put the extra power back into the battery. So one thing that's very impressive to me anyway, being an air conditioning guy, is the air conditioning system. Because there is no propulsion engine, there is no compressor on the engine, so this is a 360 volt variable speed DC air conditioning compressor. Now what that does, it means that right now we're sitting here with no engine running, nothing, and the air conditioning is running at maximum capacity, maximum efficiency. You just don't get that with an engine driven compressor, which would be sitting here just at idle speed and not doing much. The battery is electrically heated, but it is also cooled by the air conditioning. Even in the winter, if it needs to, if the battery gets overheated, there is a chiller loop on the air conditioning that will cool down the liquid, which runs through every other cell in the 288 cell 360 volt battery.